Okay, do we have any other remarks or announcements?
Can I ask something? Last month, I filled out an application on a couple other people. We were deferred, whatever that meant. This is a committee, this is a community thing, long when we deferred. When are we accepted, when are we denied? Who denied this?
No, you weren't denied.
No, I don't know what the law was.
No, you were not denied.
Okay, getting into that subject, first of all, let me start off by reading the official police services standard operating procedures for this committee. And the bylaws that we go by, and let me read this to you. It says, to be considered for membership, an individual must live, work, or have a business in the district, be nominated by a member, city member in good standing, or the district commander, attend 3 monthly meetings, which you have, and be accepted by a majority vote of the committee. All membership nominations must be submitted in writing to the district chairperson, which is myself. Okay. Now, these applications for membership were submitted to me by the sergeant. To get clarification, I talked to him last week with regards to the fact that, first of all, they were not submitted by any of the members of the board, and he informed me that, because I asked him if the major had submitted your names, and he said no.
Well, I misunderstood your question.
Well,
You asked me who brought them, and I thought you were asking me if the major brought them or invited them or brought them to the meeting. And I've informed you that everybody in the community is welcome to the meeting. And you asked me, and I've clarified with you, if you're asking if the major is endorsing these applicants, and I verified with you that yes, she is. And she's here now, and she can verify that for you.
If that's total change from what I was told last Friday.
Well, she's here to tell you herself.
Yeah, okay, I have no problem with that then. Then on behalf of that, unfortunately, Mr. Archer is not here tonight, so he can't be acted upon. The next one would be Joyce Wood. And Joyce?
I'm Joyce.
Oh, you're Joyce, okay. We have your application here, and if anybody would like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we consider Joyce Wood for membership on the committee.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
And then one other
That's right.
email on the last thing.
Okay, the next one is Missy Hody.
Excuse me.
And do I hear a motion?
I move that we accept her as a member.
Have a second? Okay, all those in favor? Okay. And the other one is Mr. Mark Harris. Do I have a motion to approve Mr. Harris?
Major Bernard.
Mr. Berry.
She said something.
The major does not have a vote. This is the committee that votes on this.
And you are not voting for Ms. Harris for any reason? Any particular reason?
Yes, I have a particular reason.
Can you tell us?
I have a problem with his background. And
Hold on a second.
I have a problem with his background. I checked into all of their backgrounds. And
You checked into whose background?
Everybody's.
I checked into all the
We
backgrounds,
always do. It's the proper
including
thing to do.
Mr. Stewart. I feel that's the appropriate thing to do.
And everybody on the committee's background is on file somewhere?
Yes.
Purpose of the
It's in the public records.
Yes.
It's in the public records.
No, I'm asking, where's the background, the results of the background checks being stored?
The
We don't
results of-
store them.
You have to keep records of this. Well, the police department was the one supposed to be doing the background check.
No, there's nowhere that it says that background checks are required. He just went over the
What's the application?
He just went over the requirements
What's the application?
to validate the address and that the person actually resides or has a business.
For you to do a background check on me.
We didn't run a police check on you. We went into public record, Miami-Dade.gov, just to make sure that there was, that you did not have any type of criminal background.
Yeah, and as I explained to you all last month, there is not a parameter for you to disallow any membership to this committee.
Well, if you could show that to me in writing, I'd appreciate it. And the reason I say that is because of the fact that I've been around for...
It's in writing.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
No, it's in writing. It's in the bylaws. It's in the policy.
I've got the floor right now. I have been involved in community service for over 50 years. And I've been on many county boards. I've been involved with many county boards. I have seen one instance where a person sitting on a board, and that was the Agricultural Practices Advisory Board. That person was very well known in the community, and he got indicted by the federal government.
I'm not
The day
understanding
he
what that
got,
has to do with
excuse
this
me, let me
committee.
finish. The day he got indicted by the federal government, he resigned from that board, because that's what he was required to do. Now, I serve currently on the community council. You can't serve on the community council unless you are a voting citizen. And if you have a felony record, you can't vote. So, the other thing,
And
I just,
are the members
if
of the boards
If you saw the article in yesterday's Miami Herald, where the county commissioners themselves last week at their meeting removed the person from consideration because of a drug charge that was 30 years old. It's right there. It was in the Miami Herald.
And as I explained to you last
Do I
month,
have a basis for it? Yes, I do.
the issue is you're looking at this as though this is a board. This is not a board. This is a Citizens Advisory Committee, which is sanctioned, by the way, let me remind you, by the police department.
Okay, yes.
Sanctioned by the police department,
And it's got
which means that
bylaws.
there's no parameter for you to discriminate against anybody. By
Discriminating.
Excuse me, I don't appreciate being accused of discriminating.
now I have the floor. I'm talking. There's no parameter for you to discriminate for race, gender, or background in that bylaw. There's nowhere in there to say anything about that you can discriminate because of someone's background.
I am not discriminating.
Well, you just said that you don't want him on the board because of his background. That's discrimination because of a person's background. There's nowhere in there that to say.
Mistakes in your life?
And this guy's a pastor in this community.
Record.
I don't. Have you ever made mistakes in your life?
I probably made a few mistakes in my life.
Okay.
I didn't get caught, but I didn't go to jail for any of them.
So what?
And I didn't get arrested for
Well,
any of
obviously you
them.
didn't look too far back in mind, I can tell you that.
Well, you did
But
in Miami.
the other,
Yeah, I did.
Well, then it's
You didn't look too far.
this has to be
You
approved by
didn't
the
look too
board.
far.
And the board, do we have a motion from Mr.?
Mr. Fair, let me ask you a question. When was the last time this gentleman been arrested? What year? When was the last time he been arrested?
Less than 6
That's
years ago.
immaterial.
No, it's not
Less than
in the period.
less than 6 years ago.
No, it's last, no.
Your information is inaccurate then.
No, sir, it's not.
It's incorrect.
I have it right here. Your information is inaccurate. I have it right here.
6 years.
The official negative. No, it
See
wasn't.
it?
No, you can't see it.
When was the last time?
1996. 18 years ago.
Apparently you have it.
And you know what, nobody tried to look into the fact of whether or not his rights were restored. You just saw that he was arrested. Nobody looked into that. And you can have a mistake. Listen,
2008.
the purpose of this committee is for members of the committee to come together and discuss.
Have you
issues that
verified
are
that that's him?
occurring in your
Huh?
community.
Have you verified that that's him?
We got those from your records.
From whose records?
Your records.
From the county clerk's
Where do you think these records come from? They sure don't come out of my...
Have you verified? Okay, in my
Who do I
system,
verify with?
there are hundreds of Mark Harris's in the system. How did you verify that that was him?
Not with that birthday.
There's several with that birthday, trust me. There's several with that same birthday, Mark Harris. That's a very common name. How did you verify that that was him? We have our ways of verifying that it was him.
Gary told him.
So how was it that you verified that that was him?
verified it with the photo, correct?
I verified that with the police downtown.
With the police downtown?
That's correct. With the district downtown.
And did you verify Miss Mitzi Moody's identity with the police downtown
She
as
did
well?
not have anything that showed as any felony convictions.
Not showing any commission. That's not saying that there couldn't have been some in other states, because just like this article in Sunday's paper and stuff like that. Well, they pull up.
Anybody from the community that wants to come and present concerns, I welcome that. That doesn't mean that they have to be a committee member.
Well, there's no parameter for you not to allow any member of the community to be a community member.
Then why
Why is
is
what's a place of a
You guys
vote?
get to
why is it written
decide
in the bylaws?
based on whatever parameter you choose. You guys get to decide who's in, who's out. So next month, you can have some other parameter that you don't like and decide it's not written in there,
No.
but, you know,
No, ma'am.
in your opinion,
Well, let's think about it this way. I've been coming to these meetings for 22 years from next month. And I've always had the concern, and other members have always had the concern, the public meetings had the concern, that those meetings could be attended by criminals, they could be attended by the criminal element, which said in the meetings could be passed on. I'm not saying this was going to happen in this particular instance or anything, but I think you can understand that although you may not find anything in these rather vague bylaws about who should be on the line, it just seems to me it smacks of common sense. That the Metro Bay
He
Police
hasn't been
Department,
arrested since 1996.
excuse me, it doesn't seem to me it smacks of common sense. The Metro Bay Police Department, any police department, does not want sitting in one of their committees, all the publicity that's involved in it, somebody, unfortunately, I don't know what Mr. Harris's background is, my child's been in trouble, but it just smacks of something that is, it's not going to fly. To have my child right now can't apply to the United States Secret Service because of one minor little juvenile detail that she had. Okay, so that it's like just a thing that, you know, it may be now written down in some explicit fashion, but I can't imagine a police department enforcing somebody that has a questionable background to be on this committee. I mean, that's just really strange.
If I may say something. I've been here for a couple of years now. You guys know me. You know my family. Okay, and I have a concern about the way this is being run. Also, okay. I'd like to point out that the SOP says that the committee membership should reflect the demographics of each district.
Absolutely.
Okay, and what we have right now, and this is what I'm observing. Okay, I'm being straightforward with y'all. What we have right now is a committee membership that is primarily out of your area. Okay, it's not including the other parts of the district. Okay, and that's my concern. Okay.
We have two members in his area, me and him.
Okay, but you guys aren't doing stuff in West Perrine or Goulds or Naranja. Am I correct?
You're correct.
Okay. And we need to be able to have other people on the committee that represent those specific areas.
Well, I thought Mr. Hanna from West Perrine reflected that very admirably at the last meeting, and I couldn't agree more with almost everything he said.
Okay.
I've known Mr. Hanna for years. I've worked very closely with Ronald Tufts.
Well,
West Perrine. I couldn't agree more
if I may continue.
about the nature of us having more membership in West Perrine. To tell you
If I may continue.
the truth,
If I may
if it
continue.
wasn't for what has come up here about background, Mark Harris would not be a problem with me.
Okay.
Okay, but the background is a problem. I'm sorry, it's a
Okay.
problem.
Well, I can tell you guys that I do a lot of community events and community outreach in Perrine, and Mark Harris is always there helping me pass out food. He helps me with the kids. He helps clean up if I need a yard cut. The same yards that you guys complain about being overgrown, and I can't get the county to come out he comes out and he cuts them for me. Okay? So
For free.
For
As a
free.
community service.
So listen, when we have issues where you guys look back into his past and say, 20 years ago, this is what he did, people can change, okay? And he has shown enough for me to endorse him if you guys will vote for him, okay? It's really important that you guys realize that you can make amends and you can do better in your community, okay? And that somebody's mistake years ago should not preclude them from participating now, okay? And I want you guys to think about that, because I don't see you guys coming out and doing the things that he has done, okay?
No, because we're not members of that community, and we don't know what goes on over there.
Exactly. That's exactly the point.
Let me
That's
finish.
exactly the point.
Now, Michelle, what's the purpose of this committee? What's the
Wait a
purpose?
second, may I
What's the purpose of
finish,
the committee? I need to know what the purpose of the
May I
committee.
finish, sir?
You just had the floor. What's the purpose of the
You
committee?
didn't allow me to finish.
You already had the floor. Where's the
did not
purpose?
allow me
Yes,
to
I did,
finish,
ma'am.
sir. No,
Yes, I
sir, you did not.
You all going on and on. My stuff, we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere.
You didn't.
Where's the purpose of this committee?
He cut you off.
I sure did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, I
He
did.
did.
I need to say something.
I would like to finish what I started to say.
I might.
My hand. I have that Bethel house, that the only little historic thing we have in Paran. And I don't get any funds for operational. And I was paying, Mark Harris cuts that property for us. No charge, no nothing.
I think he does many good things for you.
Can't we all just get along? I mean, now, let's be realistic about this thing. I do a lot in my community. I'm looking at this board, I'm not seeing anybody that looks like me.
Because Ms. Townsend resigned.
Well,
And I was very sorry to see
why
her
can't we
resign.
bring Mr. Harris in? Don't let one mistake, let me tell you something, one mistake, you can charge him for that.
That's not one mistake.
It doesn't matter. People change. He's a minister now. People change. People change. Let's have a heart. Okay, when I leave this world, I want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to hell. We have to forgive and move forward, okay?
I need to know the purpose of the committee.
May I say something? I have to stand when I talk. I joined this committee when Leonard Burgess was the mayor here. And I was here all of these years, only me mostly. And I'm going to be honest, I saw a lot of prejudice on this board. A lot of things. And it was in the hearts of the people, because I could tell the way they talk. And after about 16 or 17 years, I said I was tired of it. And I resigned. They do not have the heart of the community.
Nope.
Only what they want to do.
Yep.
What the community needs, they don't care. I know. Sergeant Rice's mother was the chair once. I worked with her. I worked with other police officers, and we got along very well. We got a lot accomplished. But lately, we're getting nothing accomplished. I resigned, got a group called the Beautification Committee. We're doing wonderful. The police officers, everybody, joining in with us to make a better Paran. When I was asking this committee to join with me and helping me improve Paran, not one helped me. You see what I'm talking about? That's why I'm here to. Mark Harris has been working with me ever since I came over here. I put his name in because when I joined under Burgess, they said you had to make 3 meetings, live in the community, work in the community. I had a business. I had no background check, no nothing. After I did that, they called me and told me I was a part of the committee. And I did that for about 18 years. And I saw nothing being accomplished in the last 5 or 6 years. And one night I said to myself, get away from it. There's too much prejudice going on in it. And you know where the prejudice comes from? In the hearts of each individual. If your heart is not right, you are not there.
I'm very sorry.
It's in the hearts of individual people. I have been in a lot of meetings here, and things went on, and there were people of my color that talk, and they say, throw them out. Throw them out the meeting.
No. That only happened to one person, and that's because of repeated disruption.
Regardless of what it was, that was not the way to handle it.
It was false
It
allegations.
was not the way to handle it. The way to handle it, you don't tell a police officer to go over and get a member and throw them out of the
That's the
meeting.
way Commissioner Moss handled it.
But I'm not talking about Commissioner Moss, I'm talking about the committee. We're running a committee. And that's the reason why I am not here today.
We're trying.
Let me tell you, I don't like Parine. I love Parine. And that's the reason why I joined this committee, thinking that they would help me to make a better Parine. And you know who helped me to make a better Parine? Helen Gage, Mark Harris, all of the other people. Nobody. When I asked you all to come out when we had a cleanup, how many of you showed up? Amen.
We have our own communities. You have yours and we have ours.
We are on a committee to work together.
That's the problem.
We're together when we are on this committee. If you do something, I come. And one thing Robert can say, anytime he did something, he came to me and I helped him. But ask Robert when I did something, did he come and help me?
Mrs. Townsend, I was down there painting out West Perrine. Most of the graffiti that I found in West Perrine, on the main streets of West Perrine. What am I doing down in West Perrine?
I was involved with the cleanup down there with you, Bobby, remember?
I've been in a couple cleanups in West Perrine.
107th and...
Why would I be there? Why would I be down cleaning up? Why would I
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Yes.
You're the chairperson.
Yes.
What is the purpose of this committee? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of it?
The purpose of this committee is to gather information for the police and to work with the police to resolve problems in the community, in the district, the entire district.
Okay, but that's not what you're doing.
And
The responsibilities of this community, the Citizens Advisory Committee, are as follows: to foster a greater understanding between the Miami-Dade Police Department personnel and the community it serves. To meet on a regularly scheduled basis with the district commander, or when meetings are deemed necessary, either by the district commander or the committee chairperson. To provide the district commander with timely feedback regarding community concerns. In accomplishing this task, the CIC should invite participation from local businesses, civic, youth, and homeowner groups. To assist the district commander in identifying those community problems that require some type of immediate government intervention. This intervention may involve a federal, state, or county agency other than the Miami-Dade Police Department. To inform and educate citizens regarding the role of police in the community, crime trends, as well as the department resources, initiatives, and accomplishments. CAC members will make every effort to resolve community concerns at the district level. Concerns that remain unresolved will be brought to the attention of the next higher departmental command authority. The director has final authority in resolving these CAC issues. Okay.
I just have one question, and I don't mean to be sarcastic. I've only been on 2 years. I went home last month and I said to myself, this had nothing to do with you. I said to myself, what if I just come when I feel like it? Why am I sitting on, quote, a committee if what we say is no more than someone sitting in the audience? Why can't I just sit in the audience and come when I feel like it and not feel like I don't feel good today?
Right.
I really don't. I'm scheduled for surgery, but I'm here because I obligated myself. So with all sincerity, what is the difference of just sitting here or sitting here? I'm truly confused.
Okay, you have to ask him that because he wants to be a part of the committee. So we can't answer that question for him. We have to answer that question for himself. Why do you want to be part of the committee, Mr. Harris?
Because I want to make a difference in my community with young as well as old. I go to the elderly center. I assist. I go in any part of that community. Everybody knows. make a difference in someone's life.
And he doesn't just come when he feels like it.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
No. I heard your example, and I'm saying this because you're asking what the difference is. And I think somebody who commits his time and comes all the time and is concerned about his community and wants to be a part of a committee.
This has
to make
nothing to do
change.
with him.
Not
This is
him,
me.
anybody.
Okay.
Anybody
Who wants to be a part of a community to make change.
you know
in his
what I do
community
in my
should be valued
community.
and respected, yes. And I don't see it any different than what you do. So if anybody else is allowed to come out every month, volunteer their time, is concerned about their community, and they're a part of the committee, there are no parameters in place when somebody else is trying to do the same thing, and we're inventing things that aren't in writing. We're inventing things. Now, next month, when we choose not to let somebody else in, when we find another rule that's not in writing.
Okay, that's not really what I meant. I hear you. I understand you. My point is, if I remove myself from the committee, then I still come. You're still going to listen to me.
Well, there are fundamental things that the
If
committee.
you want to be on the committee,
Okay.
what's my basis for denying you? If you want to be a part of something, what's my basis for denying you? Mistakes you made 20 years ago?
Like I said, you're bringing.
I'm just saying, because that's the issue at hand.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about. But, you know, when you spend 20 years trying to get your life together, turn your life around,
I
redeem
understand.
yourself from mistakes that you made, it shouldn't always be used as a hammer to beat you across your head when you're trying to do something positive.
But I guess I just resent it that I am far from prejudice.
I'm not calling you
I'm
that.
Jewish, and trust me, I've been down the road.
I'm not calling you that. I'm not calling anybody in here that. I'm just trying to answer your example.
Okay.
He wants to be a part of the way you want to be a part of. He cares about his community the way you care about your community. He has made mistakes. He's not denying that. If they had asked him out front, he probably would have told them. I made mistakes, but I spent the last 20 years of my life trying to make up for that.
I understand.
And I think he's successfully
But I
done
want to
that.
ask the question, why all of a sudden now it's background check? With all these years that I've been on the board, we never mentioned
Mrs.
that.
Townsend, why all of a sudden in November did we come up with this application that wasn't even on the police website, that nobody ever told us what the purpose for that
I
was?
think I started before Harrican and Andrew
No,
on this,
but
and
I
you
never
never
filled out.
asked anybody for a background check.
I never filled
Why
out
did
an
you take it on
application.
yourself, the committee, to go this
I was
background
never
check?
asked for an application either. Where did all this application business come from?
I'm asking one question. Why now?
Because all of a sudden in November, the police came to us and said, you're breaking the rules, and the rules are very vague, and the rules were not on the website, the application was not on the website, and I don't know what other inference one could draw from that kind of an application. I know when I had issues with the Metro Police Department, it seems to me my background was extremely important. So what inference would you draw from the fact that somebody is asked to fill out an application, but that somebody wanted to check off and find out what kind of a person that is?
Is it necessary that you have to have a background check just to improve your community? To improve your community and make a better community, you have to have a background check?
I go back to what I said before. I don't think this is an unusual problem that when you're supposed to be
You better need a background check.
serve in public office or serve on a public committee or whatever it is, it's not unusual for people to be interested in your background.
Okay.
No, that's not necessary.
The application.
If you're going to improve your community and help your community, why should you have to have a background check? Some of you might need one, you just didn't get arrested.
I don't completely disagree with what you're saying, and I give myself as an example, and my daughter as an example. Everybody makes mistakes. The lady here is absolutely right. The Pope just said it. All these other things. But we're sitting here faced with, should we approve somebody who has a background, a checkered past, so to speak, even if he's had an epiphany and a redemption?
Let him finish. Let Mr. Hawley finish.
You say, so what?
So who is
You say, so what? But I can just see somebody come along 3 years from now, or the Miami Herald or some other media person, and some crime issue comes up, and they find out that somebody with a criminal
So
record
what?
is in
So
that committee.
what?
Well,
So
so what?
what?
Well, it's not so what in the headlines.
Listen, you
Well,
heard about this.
Bob, I'd like to point out a couple of
They might bring up
things.
something on
Ms.
you
Thompson,
20
excuse me.
years ago.
All right. First off, the application has been around since the early 90s, okay?
Well, I never had one.
Let me finish. My mother was the chairperson of the CAC, okay? I've spoke with her. She told me about the application process as far back as the early 90s.
Why is it on the
Okay.
website until...
I don't know why it's on the website, but that's important. That's important right this second, okay?
I came to the CAC when your mother was the chairperson, and I can tell you that when I was asked to be on the board after about 3 years of coming to meetings, nobody ever gave me an application
But
form.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I spoke to her, and she has said that there was an application, okay? She remembers filling one out, okay? Because when I read this originally, when we looked at this in November, I went and spoke to her, because obviously she's got some history with this, okay? Second, the application doesn't require a background check. I'm looking in here, there's nothing about background check in this. What the application could be for is because, like anything, we want to know some basic information about who we're dealing with, okay? We might not want to go as far as a background check, but we'd like to know where somebody lives, so if we decide to mail them something, or we decide to make a phone call, we can get in contact with them, okay? That's
It's
what's...
for that purpose, it's
Okay.
to make sure that they live in the appropriate
Yes.
area, or they have a business
All
in
right,
the appropriate area.
so when you look at the application, that's what we're looking for,
Well, I'll
okay?
give you my personal
Well, I'm
experience.
not done yet, please. You know, and you were talking about, you know, who cares about the person's past, but like I said earlier, you can make up for that past, okay? And everybody here pretty much has an equal voice. It's your guys' job as the committee to kind of unite us, okay? And put us in the right direction to help the community, okay? And you guys, if you guys run into a problem later on, that this person, he got a criminal history or whatever, and he's being arrested, this thing gives you guys an option later on for cause to remove somebody from the committee, okay? But it doesn't give you guys cause to prevent somebody from coming to the committee. You get what I'm saying?
Can you read that part? But I'm curious. In other words, you can't do it before, but you can do it
Correct.
after the fact?
Correct.
Can you
Okay.
read that section, please?
Yeah.
Well, some people...
An individual's membership may be withdrawn for just cause. Removal will be accomplished by 2/3 vote of the district membership, subject to ratification by the director. Dismissal actions will be forwarded via the department's chain of command, okay?
Now, who decides what's just cause?
Well, I would think
That's
that,
very nebulous.
I would think that if somebody gets arrested and it's headlines in the news, that would be just cause,
What
okay?
if they get arrested and it's not headlines?
Well, we have to look at it situation. We can sit here all day and go, what if, what if, what if.
understand that,
But, you know, that's something that we'd have to cross when you get to that point. But we can't predict the future. I can't say that, you know, Bob is not going to get pulled over and arrested for something, or in fact, you're going to get pulled over or something. So what I'm asking here is that you guys take into consideration, okay, the fact that all of us basically are endorsing him, all right? And we're telling you that regardless of what his history has said in the past, right now he's good, okay? And listen, if later on down the road he gets in trouble, you guys have a way to take care of it, okay? The same with anything else.
Let's do this. Why don't I take this? I'll take this forward to the director, because this is obviously a decision that we're not going to be able to come to a conclusion to, and I will take this forward to the director. And he, as according to those bylaws, as you guys call them, has the authority.
He has the authority to make whatever
It's,
decision.
how many members now? How many members on the board?
5.
Seven.
Who's the seven?
Now,
So we've already been voted in?
So they can vote
So
tonight?
then we can vote and deny and add them in and that,
Tonight?
then we want to add them in. What we got to say?
I think
You have to nominate him.
No, I'm not. My point is that, you say you have 7 people? And
I have one thing I'd like to
the 4 of you voted against him not coming in.
Well, I'd just like to know when the department... Could I just say one thing?
He has the floor.
Let him have the floor for a second. He hasn't said anything.
I'm kind of curious, so there's, the thing that comes to mind, and I don't want to hear anything about it, is Stephanie being very disruptive. That was a just cause, and we had to have her removed from the room, as did Mr. Moss. Had to have her removed from his proceedings also. So, with being disruptive to a meeting and monopolizing the meeting and carrying on, would that be just cause? Not that that's the case, but that's just an example that we have that's still fresh in my mind.
She wasn't on the committee, but yes, she was extremely disruptive and did run a lot of people away from the meetings.
Say that
Well,
again.
when you have a public meeting, that means the public is allowed to visit. And as long as they attend the meeting and carry themselves with decorum throughout the meeting, they should be allowed to sit.
That's right.
And I wish she
And
had,
not be
because
disruptive.
she made many valid points, but she just went too far. She's very smart, but she just went too far.
The other thing that I brought along a copy of tonight, because it's quoted before every county commission meeting, I'm on the Community Council 14, it's quoted before every one of our meetings, is the fact, and that is the reason why Mr. Moss has removed one person from ever coming into the commission chambers. Now, we've been through 2 or 3 mayors since he did this, so the mayors don't change. Any person making impertinent or slanderous remarks or who becomes boisterous while addressing a community zoning appeals board or county commission or whatever shall be barred from further audience before the community zoning appeals board by the presiding officer, unless permission to continue or again address the board be granted by a majority vote of the board members present. Now, that's the reason why she was removed, and that's the reason why she's not allowed back. Just like she's not allowed back in the commission chambers. As long as Dennis Moss is sitting on the dais up there, she's not allowed back, because the sergeant at arms has got instructions that if she walks into that commission chambers when he's there, she's to be removed.
Okay, that is fine.
And that is the situation. Now, that is...
What happened to Mr. Harris being nominated on the board?
No, that was used as an example of...
That's irrelevant. What did that happen with him being nominated for the board? So you all gonna stick to your, not to vote him in, you all sticking to that agreement?
Well, you should hold the vote.
I would like to make the statement that when my arm was twisted into joining the committee, which I had no interest in, I was asked to fill out an application, and I was also asked by the then chairperson, did I have anything in my background that she should know? She flat out asked me that. And I said, here's what I said. I said, if you go onto the Miami-Dade Clerk website, you will find my name. Because if my dog got out of my yard, I had to go down to Medley, bail him out of doggy jail. Animal Control had picked him up, and I paid a fine. And on the website, it says that I was convicted by the courts and paid a fine. I never went to court, but I did pay a fine to get my dog out of Animal Control. But it will show up. It will not show up as any kind of a misdemeanor. It will not show up as a felony, but it will show up as a civil violation. And I did divulge that at that time.
I'm very disappointed. I thought I was coming to a committee of people who cared from where I live in Leisure City, where crime is very bad, to West Perrine. I thought everybody cared about everybody's neighborhood. I thought everybody cared about everybody. When I filled out my application, I thought it was for contact information. No, I have not ever been convicted of anything. And I can't believe that I sat here tonight and listened to this crap. These are police officers here. They know what he has done and has not done. Aren't you guys in charge of this thing? But we have a chairman and a co-chairman. I'm just hurt.
And that's true.
I am really hurt. I have taught for 35 and a half years. I have had juveniles in my classroom. I've had them arrested for my classroom. When they come back to my classroom, I don't hold it against them because the cops picked them up. They're there to learn.
And why don't
They changed because I cared for them.
just don't put this in the director's
I'm
hands?
very disappointed. Somebody did a criminal background check on me when I filled out an application to join a community service.
I think everybody's expressed their opinion. Why don't we have a vote?
Let's have a vote.
Let's see where we stand.
Yes, and don't put this in the
I've seen several votes taken.
That's so childish. We're adults here.
Do I hear a motion to approve Mr. Harris? Excuse me? Do I hear a motion to approve Mr. Harris?
No, this is the commission, I think. I mean, they
Second?
they-
Okay. Okay, we have a movement and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Can people out here raise it?
No,
It's a committee.
I'll vote with a comment.
Go ahead.
I don't want this to become the CAC Committee of Rhine. I don't want this to become the CAC meeting of a church group. There's a separation of church and state, and this is definitely state. But aside from that, I'll vote yes.
You know what, this is a vote. The discussion has already been done. There is no more discussion. I'm not going, I'm just trying to, this is what the rules of the vote. And you voted for it, so you guys got 4.
Okay.
Well, I want to
So you have the majority.
I want to put the same condition on my vote.
Wait, there is none.
I have John.
Let him speak.
Well, then I won't vote.
You have a nomination, you have a second, you have a
I'm
motion.
voting no because I'm the chairman and I'm the one responsible.
I'll abstain.
It's over, it's done with, you did.
You won't let me explain my vote, which might be
You don't need to explain it.
Just so that I can understand, can you tell me you're abstaining?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. Speck?
I vote no.
Okay. Bob?
I have to abstain because nobody let me explain myself.
Ms. Woods?
Yes.
Mitzi?
What about your vote?
I had an explanation, and I voted yes.
I vote yes because it states that we can remove any of us when we go crazy down the street.
You didn't know that I
That's the only reason I'm voting yes.
You can speak. Hold on. Go ahead, sir.
Have at it.
Go ahead, sir.
I have, I spent almost a month, the end of last year, trying to find what I consider to be a good candidate to represent West Bryan. I have friends in West Bryan. My role model is Donald Tux.
He's right here.
He's a role model is Donald Tux. So it really bothers me when people insinuate that people in this community don't care about West Bryan. I've cared about West Bryan ever since I got into the crime watch business. And Ronald Tux was my mentor.
Good.
So don't tell me I don't care about West Bryan, and don't tell me that other people on this committee don't care about West Bryan. That hurts to the heart.
I think a lot of things are
And this,
said here in the moment tonight.
and this police department, excuse me, seems to have really changed its attitude about background. Just for your information, 1993, I was a candidate for the first Citizens Police School. And at that time, because I had to defend myself in several incidents here in this community, I was given an edict by the director of this department that I could no longer be considered as a candidate for police school because I was developing a violent personality. And so happens in one of those violent actions, I had a shot fired at me by people trying to hijack my car. The DA had to discover that information. So the department seems to have a whole different attitude about past history. I just want to make that really clear, because that hurts to my heart from my own personal experience. But please, when I go down, sick as I am, I can't hear anymore, and I'm going down, painting out lampposts and stuff in West Bryan, reporting incidents, and Ronald knows for sure that I've been doing that recently, hazards, getting stop signs fixed. Don't tell me that I don't care about West Bryan. That hurts to the heart. And I vote yes, now that you've let me explain myself.
Thank you.
Okay, your motion is
Who
right.
voted yes?
I'd like to make a motion to continue.
Okay,
I second it.
You need the total of votes, right?
It's done. It's done.
But somebody's supposed to write down absent.
We got it.
Put it down.
Yeah, she's already got it.
Should have had the vote.
May I ask a question?
Well, a lot of harsh words going around tonight. That's a problem. That didn't make it any easier, you know?
They're doing it. Listen now.
Wait a minute, what's on your voting time, Vic?